donkeys and piglets, yes. This is the back of Bennachie Forestry Commission car park, or Scottish Forestry Commission car park. Free overnight, stay the night side there, or free between 6 in the evening and 10 o'clock at night. We had the place completely to ourselves until about half an hour ago. We're right at the very top of the car park, so we've had this surreal woodland scene to stare at this morning. It's quite shaded, not a particularly good place for solar, but it's another very quiet, very peaceful, very silent site. And we're heading off up to explore this trail after breakfast, and Sam wants to go already. The silence of the woodland is the sound of calling birds. But interestingly, all we can hear today is the wind in the trees. Right at the top of the trees, all waving around. We had intended to walk up to that piece of rocky outcrop there, but my hip's going. Karen's knees aren't as best as they could be, so we found a nice place to get a bit of a view, and we'll just stay here for a little while.
And now things aren't flying at him like shells and claws and things.
Yes, there you go. See, little tuck bun treat. It's actually the opposite way we need to go. So,
well, I'm sorry.
We'll go right down here. So we're going to get 6 or 12. This is Delgetti Castle. It's a private castle maintained on a shoestring through a trust. And somewhere we just picked out as being one of the many places that we haven't been to before off the beaten track. Remnants of a sundial on that wall. There's a hole in that window there in the glass. Somewhere like this must be a very, 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 very expensive project for anyone to try and maintain.
a fire extinguisher. Throw the contents with force into the base of the flame, never sprinkle.
Well, that was fascinating. It didn't look much from the outside, but that was a real piece of history. The person that owned this and did most of this work on this place, he was well connected and he lived a really, really impressive life in the British Army in Afghanistan. What I liked was the fact that those cannons his father used in India, they're not just props, they are genuine family heirlooms used for blowing up and pointing at bad guys. Well, I assume they were the bad guys. There's supposed to be a nice sunrise tomorrow, but just in case there isn't, we've come down to the beach this evening after dinner. It's just coming up for 7. Just round the corner of this piece of rocky outcrop here is Millhouse Pottery, which is the reason we've come up here. We're going to go to the pottery tomorrow morning. And then just round there, a bit further, is the village of Pennon, which has got a seriously steep hill into it. And then I went for a walk up there earlier on. I might go again, but we are parked just without bushes. Literally just without bushes. That's where the car park is, and it's pretty spectacular. That's Pennon in the distance, and then just below that building on the outcrop there is another bay. And that's the pottery we're going to tomorrow morning. Got up a bit too late to catch the sunrise, just as it came over the hill. It's just after 7 o'clock. I'm not even dressed yet, so this is from inside the van. That's Pennon round the corner there. There's the sunrise. So this is where we parked last night, at this bay. I'm going to go for a walk and explore down there later on while Karen does a bit of cross-stitch and bits and pieces. It's a bit chilly. I managed to get some photographs of a really nice sunrise, but as you can see it's now disappeared into the cloud, which was, the forecast has been spot on so far today. I've just walked through that gap there, which is a lot bigger than it looks, and I'm now standing in a huge sea cave. It's quite a cavern. Just found that gap purely by accident, didn't know it was there. Was walking along the beach. There's a fair old crack up there. I would like to be underneath this if it broke. What do you think, Sam? Are you impressed? I've just come out of the mouth of the cave. I'm not going to go up there. That's a little bit too much of a scramble with the dog. And yes, the tide is going out. So I'm going to head back into the cave and go back through the way I came. But you have to explore these things. Otherwise you'd never know what was on the other side, would you? Van up there in the distance. We've just walked to the end there, as far as we could go. Sam's enjoying himself. I've just scrambled down from the top there where the fence is into this collapsed sea cave for this. That part of the cave is still intact. It goes all the way through this piece of land. And there's rock above me. That's a particularly spectacular opening. Obviously you can see the reflection of the water. The opening is about there in the considerable distance. Brilliant place to come for a wander about. We've just driven round the corner and parked up here at this fantastic bay. I wasn't able to walk round from where we were, just round the side of that piece of rock there. We've had a lovely chat with the people living or staying in that cottage up there. They've got a hell of a view. Yeah, that's fantastic. The reason for coming here today is to go to the pottery over there. The waves are breaking in one straight line from one side of this bay to the other. Look at that. That's really quite impressive. The tide is just beginning, well, the tide is coming back in now, and those little islands out there aren't visible when the tide's fully in. There's a few fire pits here. But like everywhere we've been so far, no rubbish, no mess, no animosity. Scotland's a lovely place to be. The helicopter's coming into land. And we're not an ambulance. Don't wave me on, I'm not an ambulance. Yeah, it's been an accident. It's coming to land on the road. Their ambulance landed. This is Shield Bridge. Really nice waterfall up there. It's been raining hard all night, and we parked up just down the road down there because I wanted to come and see this. And there's also some falls up there in the distance, but I don't think we're going to make that today. It's absolutely chucking it down. Sam's having a look. The roads, or this pathway, is blocked by boulders at both ends. This is I think it's called the Carbray viewpoint of Eilean Donan. This is Karen's favourite castle, so whenever we're in Scotland we always come here, no matter the weather or the time of year. There's sky in the distance over there, and because we got here early, we drove a bit longer last night than I intended to. Parked up near Shield, but we've got the prime viewing spot. In fact, Karen's probably up in that window there now at this park up, and it's a very nice place to be. I was here a few years ago. There was loads of press photographers up here, and from this point here, it's amazing how a red jacket can spoil a bloody good photograph, and the photographers were not happy at all. And this is a different viewpoint, a little bit further up the road. Not everyone and their dog, in fact there's a coach tour there now, goes and stops at that one point here. But the trees have been cleared here, and you can actually see it from a slightly different angle. Well, Sam has a bit of a wander. You don't know where you are, do you, Sam? That looks dark. It's not really that dark. Karen's gone in the shop. So, for those who've never been here before, this place is very, very popular. It's only just opened and it's already full up on a Friday. But Karen wants to go to the shop and might as well take a few pictures while we're here. So we just walked up to the upper viewpoint and we now got a little friend. There's the Five Sisters over there, lit up by the sunlight. And there you go, Mam Ratagan. The upper car park, the ground's not as level as here and it's not as large. So this will do us for tonight. Fantastic. Nobody at all in the car park because they're all wussies and it's too windy and cold and they want to sit in coffee shops. Better be up here then, drive. Right, one's not moving, is it?
No.
The sun's just coming out. I shouldn't be leaving now. We should have taken the pictures. But yeah, got to remember taking shots. Not there, but never mind. We can capture the information reversing back at least. I didn't do the double checks, did I?
I turned round it about 3 times. Why does that look at that back curtain will unhook the hooks and pull down? Green things on the floor, things done, I double check the buckles on the door.
This waterfall is just down from where we're parked at Mam Ratagan. Both of them. They go underneath the road. So we're parked up the top there. My goodness, did it rain last night. I thought Thursday night was impressive, but last night, blimey. Somebody got a bit soggy last night. we were here Thursday. It was pelting down with rain, so it seemed sensible to come back because this is quite a picturesque location, and we're going to go and try and walk to the waterfall that drops down in that gap over there. Certainly couldn't have done it on Thursday because it was stair rods. In fact, last night it was stair rods as well. Extremely wet. A bit less breezy on this side of this hill. There we go. The new bridge, the old bridge, lay by. That piece of road there is blocked off by rocks, so you can't access it. But we spent the night on Thursday just down past that road bridge there. Mainly because I wanted to visit this bridge and have a nose about, but it was so wet in the morning we decided to leave it until a couple of days later. So this is a bit of a cheat. We're parked up opposite, I think it's called Polnish Chapel. The train left Mallaig at 2:10, so we thought, well, we've just had lunch, let's see if we can film as it goes past. And I'm actually doing this from standing inside the van. And considering how popular this train is, I expected this spot where we're sitting now to be very busy. The train should come from the right and go down that bit of track there. We've just had a fairly hefty rainstorm. It's definitely going to be a wet weekend. In fact, tomorrow is going to be extremely wet. But I'll pause this now and wait for the train.
Turn right.
I want to go down there.
In a quarter of a mile, slight right.
It's a castle there, isn't it?
Caution uneven road. Yep, sums it up.
This is just a magical spot. I want to capture all this lot on the dash cam. reverse back down that. Another B coming the other way. You're not doing a very good job. The door, the square door. Look at this. That's the most funny, isn't it? Jesus Christ, this road's bad. Ow, 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 ow. Ow. Ow.
Turn right.
Yes, right, the car park was in there. Big car park. But there were people parked along here as well, weren't there?
Yeah, I think we parked.
Look at it, it's full. It's absolutely full.
And big pothole.
So this is Chiaron Castle, one of my favourite places, although as you may have seen from the video I'm going to put on in a minute, or the video I just put on, the route down here is horrible. The last 3 miles are on a wretchedly bad road. It doesn't go anywhere other than down to here, but in the car it's unpleasant enough. In the van it was bone shaking. There's a large car park here, and today it is completely full. But this is sort of like a very different castle to Eilean Donan. It's not commercialised, in fact it's privately owned and subject to a planning dispute. And when the tide's out, you can use that causeway. And this is a really beautiful area. There's a boat there. When the sun's out, this is fantastic. But I am surprised today, on a filthy day like today, so many cars in the car park. So as I say, you can see our van there. We parked by the fence. Spot a yellow van. Wet dog. Oh, get him, wet dog. People with clipboards and people with hard hats. Don't remember that newish looking house being there before. You can't go into the castle. It is unsafe because of the ongoing planning dispute between the owners and the Highland Council.